Hello everyone and welcome back to Kian's Car Reviews, and today we're sitting inside of a BYD Dolphin, which I've just done a review on. And now I'm going to review its actual driving assistance features, because I've got this car for a while and I've got some spare time, and I thought, I've driven to North Shore, and going over the harbour bridge, there's some nice twisty turns, and there's a way to see how all the lane centering actually works going over those bridges. So before we do anything like that, let's actually go over the settings first. Ooh, yeah. So we go to the ADAS function there. So we have intelligent cruise control on, which basically blah blah blah, you can read that if you want. Driving assist, so we've got the lane support systems on, prevention, vibration, moderate, and emergency lane keep assist on. We want high beam assist, we want driving attention monitor, which it uses the fatigue monitored in real life. I don't think it uses the camera, but in the child present detection on. Active safety, we got that earlier, actually put that on earlier, no, moderate. Automatic emergency braking, blind spot assist, so you've got all of those blind spot features enabled. You can obviously pause to read this if you want to, and you got ESC off, which if we do that, it says ADAS is limited, so blah blah blah, turn that back on and everything comes back on properly. And parking assistance, you've got panoramic images, that over there, go back, oh wait, wrong sensors, parking sensors on and off, 2 at the front and 3 at the rear for parking sensors. So yeah, so we have everything enabled. We can go back, see in the settings how well they're enabled. And so now we'll actually go ahead and start driving over the Auckland Harbour Bridge towards the Auckland City. So I have the camera set up over here, which you can probably see my hand in, and then I've got one facing the road. Now, I don't know how shaky this camera will be. I've tried this mount before and it was really shaky. But then again, we might as well just try it anyways. So we enter the navigation, we're going to there. So I do want to take the motorway, which this is good. So we're going on the motorway. It's in drive. So this camera seems to be good. This steering wheel should not be blocking this screen here, just because once we are on the motorway, we will be won't be having much steering. Now, actually, I think driving assistance, we're basically going to start the test now, because the thing is, you can see right here, it thinks it's a 5 km/h zone, but it's really not. It's actually a 50 according to the map, and I think the map is correct. Well, this one is not, so quickly on the right, clear on the left. Take that right turn over here. Instead of speeding, we're in a 50 zone. And I did outline this in my review very often, just because of how annoying it is. I mean, can I turn this fan speed down maybe to 2? Oh. Have that on feet only, maybe. No. Close. But, that was the annoying thing, is that it warned you. Now, I think this car has got the update that, limits the amount of times it warns you and stuff like that. But it still thinks it's 5k zone, it is a 30. When you turn on a new street in most cars, it does typically just tend to say, just gets rid of that, even if it's the same speed limit when you turn left. For example, if I had to turn left up on this intersection up here, it would just clear whatever speed I was going at before, because I've done a sharp turn, right? However, because this one, it keeps it constantly until it finds a new speed sign. So if I actually come to a stop, which I will do here, because there is no one around, so I'll just come to a stop, right? I'll come to a stop here. I'll just slow down a lot. I'll slow down, I'll come to a stop here. And then now when I resume off again, actually there's a 50 sign. Now that the 50 sign is it gave me a speed warning. And there was a 50 sign there. There was a few trees around it and it didn't pick it up. But I could see it clearly. And it's still warning me about speeding. Now there's a 50 sign here, which it should see easily. And there you go. So the 50 sign, and we're good. So you take this left turn here, and it doesn't really bug you about speeding. I think it's when you go 5k's above the speed limit for an extended period of time, that's when it really starts nagging you about your speed. But till then it shouldn't. Now that we're heading back to Auckland City, got a green light, you can take this comfortably, just cruise through, and now we can just floor it, give it a little bit of maxing it out. I want to engage once we merge onto the motorway, just because I'm actually going to engage the cruise control here, disengage it there. I'll actually get into the right lane once the road opens up. lot of wind noise. I think it's because it's quite loud. Actually engage it here. ICC has been activated. Now I'm activating it at the speed limit, so you can only adjust it in increments of 5 kilometers per hour at a time. So you can only adjust it 5 kilometer increments at a time. You cannot adjust it like individual one by one. One took upward is go over by 5, that go down by 5, and it does not use regen to slow you down to the speed that you should be going. And there are 4 distance settings. I currently have it at 3. I can change it to 1, but at the same time 3 I feel like is good. And currently so far it's doing good so far. I'm just making sure this does go over the harbour bridge. Yes, it does. So this is quite easy. You should be at twisty turny soon. Well, this car's merged in and it is braking nicely. Actually what I will do is, see, it's saying to turn the steering wheel lightly, and it only requires a bit of force. You hear those beeps going off? And it just says IC has been exited, and it'll just do that beeping like it was doing there for a little bit, and then it will then at that point, after a little bit of that beeping for about 3-4 seconds, it just exits completely. So, and you can reactivate it immediately after that, which, you know, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it should get rid of it. And here's the other issue. It thinks I'm speeding. It thinks it's a 50 zone when it's actually, it's 100. Obviously it's 100. There's no way it can't be 100. But it beeped at me about 3-4 times, and now just saying 50 flashing there, which is a bit annoying, but yeah, who cares? Now that time it asked me to touch the wheel, but I didn't, and it's still fine. So we should be getting the twisty turnies a bit later. We're going over the harbour bridge. So far it's been so good. That last corner was a little bit twitchy. It was going a bit left and right. However, it feels like it's really locked in. Like, for example, right now it's not going to disengage or anything. So if I just do that, it lets me take over. But immediately, as soon as I like let go basically again, it locks back in immediately. So I'm actually going to change lanes here. And now I'm letting off the accelerator a little bit, so it's thing, and it locks back into system. See, this guy's going to cut in. It does not react, which is good. You don't want it to, you know, harshly brake like some systems would. They would just slam on the brake there because that guy just cut up. I am making sure we aren't, you know, like going over or anything like that. Now that beeping I thought was the ICC. It was the ICC, but it didn't give me any warning. Okay, there we go. So activate it again. Should be getting some corners up here. There we go, speeding up. Now we're slowing down. So this is a sharper corner. I might switch it to 80 zone here, so we'll just set the speed down to 80. We'll just go at the speed limit because that is the way you should be doing it. You should just be using driving assistance going at the speed limit. I do want to be in this lane, so we'll shift over lanes. Don't want it to brake that harshly. I do actually want it to be in the left lane for this, so I will switch over into the left lane and then resume. Make sure it activates. Please activate before this corner, please, 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 please. Guess it's not keen. Okay, there we go. Activated. I like this part because we can see, you know, all the nice scenery all over. I'm not going to speed anything up or really cut anything out just because I want to keep it continuous. But yeah, I mean, see, when the lanes are straight, it's really good. In the slightly sharper corners, I feel like it does get a bit more twitchy. I might switch lanes to the outside just because these people are going a lot slower than the speed limit, and I want to be doing the speed limit exactly. So there we go. And the only reason I'm doing the speed limit exactly is because I know that when I use Waze and stuff, I might set the cruise control, so I'm doing a like 80 GPS match, whatever that is, whether it's 85 or it's 83, I'll set it up there, so then I'm doing the exact GPS speed. But I do not want to do that, because some people, like most people, the average driver, doesn't really do that. They'll just have it set at the speed limit according to their screen over there. And I mean, have it set to 80. It's doing 9 kilometers to regen to keep it at 80, which is good. So I'm going to tug the wheel before this corner. It's recommended at a 75 corner, so we're going to see how it does. Braking a little bit, and I mean, I'm not assisting, I'm just holding it. Okay, I'm going to take over because it's getting really close on that right side. Although it should reactivate here. There we go, reactivated. Getting close to the side again. I think when there's no car in front, it definitely struggles a little bit. See, it's going to take a little bit of steering here. There's no one to my left, so I'm going to let it, you know, like, do it how it wants to. And it did it, although it did trigger its lane departing system. And over here again, it triggered that side's lane departure. Oh yeah, nah, could not do it. This is very twisty, turny type of road, so you've got to obviously keep in mind that this system is not, you know, it is a motorway, you can't deny that, so it should be able to do it, but oh, there we go. ICC. Okay, sometimes it doesn't reactivate immediately, I don't know why, but now it's activated. This corner, there's no one to my left, so I'm letting it get closer, but it is triggering its lane departure. I don't know if this camera can see it, but it is triggering its lane departure warning. There we go. I'm just tugging it when it tells me to. I'm not keeping my hand on there. I like to keep my hands off the wheel. I do keep it closer when I know it's going to mess up. Take the left. So keep on the port side. Reactivated immediately. Love to see that. I mean, here's the thing. When you're on normal highway driving, this seems to work really well. Although it does seem to be better with the car in front. It seems to be less twitchy in the corner. See, now this corner is going to go sharp, triggering the light. No. Not gonna let it do that. It was not gonna turn that like should have. Okay, ICC. ICC does not want to activate here. Current road conditions do not meet the smart pilot. I guess this is too curvy for it. Okay, there we go. Now we'll reactivate it here. Dude, does not meet, so it's not activating anymore. Interesting. Huh. That is something interesting. Okay, here we go. Okay, so it's no longer activating the smart cruise control, which, I mean, I'm going to disengage and I'm going to re-engage the cruise control by pressing ICC. There we go. Okay. Okay. We're going to go one exit down. Further exit than I thought because there we go. Now it's activated. So it wasn't activating before. Who knows why. Yeah, so that drive definitely exceeded some of its limits. The sharper corners is what I think really trips it up. Again, this wants me to do a U-turn here, although I can't because that traffic is turning right. So I can't do a U-turn here even though this wants me to. It says no U-turn. I mean, it says no U-turn, but the system is pretty adamant about me doing a U-turn. So be how it goes. We'll go around this Fraser Park, they'll go back, and we'll try see how it does. If we go this way, we join back on the Northwestern Motorway. From here on, it should be pretty smooth sailing. 4.5, basically 4 kilometers, I'd say. At least another 3 kilometers on the motorway. So far, the ADAS, I mean, it seems that it works well on straight roads and when there's a car in front of you. But the moment the car in front of you, isn't there anymore, and it just has to depend on lane lines instead of following the car in front, it does seem to struggle a little bit more, which... It's a level 2 system, you have to keep your hands on the wheel, and it works well in the motorways, which is where it should be working well. I don't know, I don't really expect this to work in the city like Tesla Autopilot can. Like, Autopilot on a Tesla, for example, works in the city, but you wouldn't use it because it can mess up at the worst time because it is intended for highway. And that is the, again, best driving assistance. So I do have to say that we will engage this system and we'll put it to 100 because we're going to be going at 100. I'm getting past even though I'm not really doing anything. Now that the cars are gone, it should pick up speed nicely. ICC has been activated, so there we go. Now this will be an interesting test to see what it does when the... Okay, yep, so it was just drifting to the outside there. I don't trust that when it does that like that. But now it's activated again. Going very close to the outside of the lane. Gonna overtake, maybe. We will be overtaking here. Deactivating the system. Go back towards the left lane. This is the 80s on, so I guess I've got a Tesla in front of us, which has the best autonomy in a vehicle right now, especially in New Zealand. It's got the best. So, we're going to see how well it compares. I don't think he's on autopilot, but, drifting towards the outside of the lane. Oh, see, the lane expanded, but it stayed on Smart Pilot. Oh, there we go, and it just disengaged with no warning at all. If it did that, it would have been so impressive, but it failed at the easiest thing, which is so sad. Now it's reactivated again, so I'm gonna push it forward to the accelerator. I'm gonna see what it does because this lane is ending actually. So I wanna see what it'll do here actually. Will it go over the dotted line or yeah, no. It was not really doing that well, going over the dotted line. And the cruise control is pretty, juddering at times. I mean, if there's just a car in front of you, it's fine, but if you're coming up against a way slow-moving car, it definitely tends to struggle. We're drifting really far towards the outside line here, and I guess we're at our exit, so let's indicate, move over. I guess that's our test complete, kind of. So yeah, that is the final ADAS review of the vehicle. I think it was okay, it wasn't amazing, but you know what, it worked, kind of. I guess you can judge based on yourself because I want to let other people give their input. But yeah, thank you for watching this.